the Rock Metal Podcast, episode 77 with Remain. Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was Millennial Nation by Remain, who I've got on the show with me right now. They're a rock band from Denton, Texas, USA. We're going to be listening to that song as well as one other while finding out more information about the band. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, John. Thanks for having us.
Yep. Absolutely. I enjoy spending my early mornings with gentlemen such as yourselves.
Well, that's lovely. As much as I could ever say, I love another man like that, man.
I was just thinking, like, where's the donuts and the orange juice? Like, we need to have
that's insane. We just went and got donuts, man.
Oh. I'm just sitting here with my glass of water. Oh, all right.
What time is it up there, John?
6:30 in the morning.
Okay,
nice.
So we're an hour ahead. All right.
Yeah, not too shabby. My son spent the night with me last night. He's 3.
Perfect.
Yep, and he was having trouble breathing, so his face was in my face and having trouble breathing, but it was okay. It's one of those moments where you realize what love really is when you wake up at some point in the night and you got a 3-year-old smuggling you, and you're just like, oh, cool.
There you go.
That's right.
Come on, buddy. Yep.
Cool, babe. Let's go and listen to that first track, Millennial Nation. right, come back from Millennial Nation. Big question for you guys. What is the inspiration or story behind Millennial Nation?
I first wrote the song when I had listened to a Lil Wayne interview, actually. And with all of this, I'm sure being in Canada, you guys are totally just sitting back and laughing at Americans over the last couple of years.
Never.
But when all of this, just after we finish the podcast, you can start. Yeah, absolutely. But well, like with all the racial division that is going on and will continue to go on, and as someone, we're here, we're around it, and I'm an Anglo-American, so is the other members of the band, and I listened to this Lil Wayne interview, and they were asking him about some of the shootings and the issues with cops and people of color being killed, and et cetera, and he's like, honestly, as a millennial, because we have millennial is a generation, right? So you have traditionalists, and then you have baby boomers after World War II, then Generation X, then millennials, and then you have centennials. I don't think I missed anyone in there, but he was just saying essentially we don't care as much about the whole color thing. It's another generation removed from slavery, essentially, and I don't know. I'd always kind of felt like that, and there was a bunch of things. I write about these issues a lot, I think, and so that was just an idea of there being a new mindset that we don't even think about this as much, although, it all boils back down to slavery was an illness that kind of plagued our country and still does for 400 years. And man, we are still racially divided as ever in some parts of the country, as you see. So
wow,
that's kind of the gist of it. And the chorus, "A New Relation," that's the first line of the chorus, and that just kind of came with the others. I wrote one of the verses during the election. We had because we're in Denton, and we have, the other day I was in a room with a guy from India, an African American, a person from Nigeria, Hispanic American, and myself, and it's like, man, you don't get any more American than this. But
I was gonna say it sounds like Canada, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, being around people like that during the election, we heard everyone freaking out, and how people always do. So that, I guess, the line "prescribe a president and medicate the ears" kind of came from that. But
yeah,
I'm not trying to. I'm not giving you any solution to the problem. I'm just reporting on the state we're in, I guess, as John Lennon said.
Yeah, just reporting. The funny thing is I spent a lot of time in various parts of the States, and I mean, you could split the country, I think, 7 ways at least.
Oh yeah.
Just throwing that out there. And I spent a lot of time actually in the Southwest, which I think is its own country, split at least 5 ways.
Bunch
of haters. Nevada hates Arizona. New Mexico doesn't even know that they're awake.
Yeah, exactly.
And with the Southwest, there's like basically 2 cultures. There's like Mexicans, and then like the Canadians who get timeshares in the winter, and all the white people who are still kind of stuck there in the middle. And for me, it was just like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then when I went to like New York and like that, like the big area, and I saw all these cultures hanging around, I was like, hey, I found America. I found it. It's here. It's very, it's like, it's just very cool when you see all the cultures mingling together, and you kind of get away from the petty thoughts of, I guess, lower class people, for lack of better terminology.
Well, that's just it. I mean, everyone, when they stay in their world, in their hometown, around their group, their dialect and their group of people, when you actually go and hang out, if you were locked in a room and you were held prisoner with people of every race in the world, you wouldn't hate those people. You'd be wanting to make friends with them, figure out how to get you out of that, and I think a lot of people just never get reduced to that, to having to do something like that, having to experience another walk of life, and and then it's just it's kind of something that I don't know. These things are always on my mind, and yeah, we see it every day, especially in a college town. So
yeah. What was unique about the writing process when you guys were working on Millennial Nation?
it was really fun for us because it was kind of one of the first songs we kind of totally came up with together as a band. Because I know I like to write lyrics and melodies and sing, and I just play rhythm guitar. And I was like, Chris, I need a riff, man. I need something to build a song around. And I think he videoed himself playing the riff you hear in the intro and breaks and etc. So we had a riff, and we just showed up to practice and played the riff, and yeah, it was really easy. We had a song built, and I said, okay, well, we have a structure. What should we do here? And it's like, well, we can do a breakdown here. We can do this. And the song came, and then I would go home and just the lyrics arrived. And I just happened to watch that interview when we were in the midst of all that, and the election was happening. And yeah, so it happened. Those are the funnest ones, we open every show with it. We love the song, so.
Very cool. Let's go listen to the next track, Generation Black.
If you want it, then you got it. Don't try to hide it. Try to tell me you like a dog, well, my candy, no sell. Sweetie, anything goes. My lady, black and gold. Lord, I let you see it all. And Adderall. You got the light and I like it laughing in the black, looking like a sweet candy, sweet, so sweet. I make a little, taking a little more to match, playing in the dark until it fades. Hanging around. Never lot of cold. My sweetie, let it all go. You got the light and I like it laughing in the black, looking like a sweet candy, sweet, so sweet. Make a little, taking a little more to match, playing in the dark until it fades. Laughing in the black, looking like a sweet
I come back from Generation Black. Big question for you guys. Similar question. What is the story or inspiration behind Generation Black?
Well, see, like we were talking, it was all this. I was going to a lot of playing every chance I got, and I wrote the song I think before the band was formed, and so I was just I was like, man, why? I want to understand what the obsession is with like darkness, and why, it's like I see there were some musicians in town that I was like, man, these people are awesome, but they're like, suicide, death. I'm like, I trying to understand that. I'm trying to I want to figure out where you're coming from. Is it just, and I actually spent some time, researching why people kind of think like that. And, but Generation Black is like, I was just thinking, man, this is it's a way of people kind of distancing themselves or trying to create an edge, maybe based off insecurity or whatever. And I know I've done it. We all do it. And kind of, create some hard edges to keep people out. And yeah, I just kind of started singing lyrics that worked. And yeah, you got the light. I like it. Laughing in the black, or the chorus is something like that. I can't say it if I don't sing it. But yeah, it's just some, light versus darkness. Why do we go there? And I don't know. It's a great bar song. You can.
Made me think of Austin Powers. No, I didn't. It's just a bunch of daddy.
Yeah.
I don't know why people keep singing like that. They're talking about darkness. Like, we've got dad issues, man. And no, I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's definitely it's metaphorical. It's a note. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Being a purveyor of rock and metal bands, so to speak, rock music is got that sexy vibe to it, which is always fun. And then we cross over into different kinds of metal, and there's a lot of metal where I immediately hear it and I'm like, dad issues.
Yeah.
You guys are mad at your dad. Like, just that's what it is right now. You guys are mad at your dad. And the cool thing is a lot of people have a sense of humor about it, which is nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We all have beefs with our parents. Some of us write about it and some of us don't.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. The song Generation Black I won't name any names, but there was a talented female musician here in Denton, and she is just so badass. She's a great guitarist, great lyricist, great singer. She actually has a metal band, and she was kind of one of the inspiration. I'm like, man, she is so awesome, and every single song she would write is just like, someone has to die, and so I was like, okay. So, and I kind of got the riff idea from some stuff she was playing. So
yeah. Now, you mentioned that you wrote the song before the band was formed, so I'm curious, was the writing process in Generation Black different at all from Millennial Nation?
Yeah, it was pretty terrible, actually, John. I had this riff, and I was playing it on acoustic guitar because I was living in an apartment with really thin walls and didn't get to play on guitar very much. And
I couldn't find the seasoning packet for my ramen. It was a really dark time.
Yeah. Put the gun back in the drawer.
Put the Bible away. No, and then I took it back out.
Yeah. Started using it as a coaster. But so, yeah, I was just playing the riff and scatting. I learned how to scat. I read Steven Tyler's biography. He talks about, half the time you don't know what he's saying anyway, but just kind of, saying whatever over a melody. And that's where most of the lyrics came from. And it just happened to be what was on my mind. And I was like, I want something that rocks. It can be kind of a satirical note, but sometimes I'm kind of talking about myself. So let's have fun, y'all. So,
All right. Cool stuff. What exciting news do you guys have coming up for Rock Metal Nation to pay attention to?
Man, I think last week we got spun on almost like 20-something stations.
What?
Yeah. What? Yeah, it was great. well, for guys like us who are still independent, it was exciting, man. We're making a good radio push with Millennial Nation. We had a couple of stations in one in New York, one in LA, one in Denver. That's why I mistook you for someone I was chatting with from Denver. But and then
I do not have a Denver accent, sir.
No, sir. No, sir. But are you a Broncos fan?
No, I'm not.
Yeah. So no, yeah, we got played in Denmark the other day, which was really cool. We can't, you see the post, and obviously you can't tune in FM to these stations, so you have to go to the website. It's like, man, I can't even read any of this. It's a totally different language. It's pretty cool. And we got played in Australia and a lot in England. And
I can see that.
Yeah. So that's been exciting. And we have I think, what do we have? 3 new songs we've added to the set list. Yeah. And it's just an issue of having the time and the funds to go in and make a record. Again, we could make a record probably, every few months if we had cash and unlimited checkbooks. But hey, we're doing what we can. So yeah.
Well, it's a choice. I mean, either you have the thin walls or.
That's right. Yeah. Either you eat ramen and play music, or you live great and hate your life because you don't play music. So.
Exactly. I think those are the 2 choices. So,
I'm actually eating ramen right now.
And donuts?
Yes. Yeah. On donuts.
Ramen on donuts. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so Rock Metal Nation, the track that you heard at the beginning of the show, Millennial Nation, is making its way across the globe. It's been played in Denmark. It's also been played in Australia. And I think they speak English in Australia, so I think you can read the website there.
Yes.
But that definitely shows how music transcends language into something that is completely different, which is why I love it. It's something that you can kind of hold, but you're not really holding anything in your hands. It's in your mind, it's in your soul, it's in your ears. It's fantastic. So it's good to hear that Millennial Nation is making its way across the globe, now playing on 20 stations, and now I guess 21 stations, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. And then 2 to 3 new songs added to the set list, so we can expect some new material coming from you guys, I'd say, within the next couple of months?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're working on that, and as soon as we get things up and going, we try to move it and send it out and put it up where people can hear it on social media, etc.
Very cool. That brings me to my next question. Speaking of social media, is how can Rock Metal Nation find out more about you guys? Is there a website that they should go to?
We do most of our interaction through Facebook, so you can go to facebook.com/Remain Rocks. And also you can go to reverbnation.com/Remain Rocks. And that will have all the information on us. You can see our shows. You can see upcoming, new videos we've added, upcoming shows, new music, bio. You can read about us. We had a couple of reviews that we slapped up there last week, and yeah. Check us out.
Fantastic. Rock Metal Nation, if you dug everything that you heard today, then go ahead and head over to facebook.com/RemainRocks or reverbnation.com/RemainRocks so you can keep in touch with the band and find out when they're going to be playing their next show so that you can be there. So guys, unless there's anything else you'd like to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing your creativity with Rock Metal Nation.
Hey, thank you so much, John, for having us. It was a pleasure.
All right, Rock Metal Nation, hopefully you just found your new favorite band in Remain. And big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.